Okay, this upper picture, that's Butch there again, and my brother Buck and me, and a cousin of ours, Eddie Reitan. All the way right, he was sitting on hay. We used to go out and we had this fellow, Louis Erickson, that mowed all the fields around that we had around. We had quite a few fields on all our places, and then where the cemetery was, used to be a lot of hay up there we used to get, and we helped haul it in and put it up in the hay loft, and we always had talk about a lot of things you could really enjoy doing. We used to love to play in the hay, go up and leap off and down into the hay. So that was part of our summer chores, and this is the back of that same old shack that they lived in. There's a big buzzsaw here, and that truck, our father used to go up to where the cemetery office is, if you know where it is. There used to be a lot of small firs in there, and we used to help them haul those logs in, flop it up on this V table there, and that buzzsaw would be pulled forward. The old buzzsaw, it operated the saw on one side and a washing machine on the other.
That's efficient.
And that's just a picture. That's our old barn, and that that was a woodshed that had to get filled every winter way back when. And that's Butch when he was about one there.
Is that the shed over there too?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. No, that's the barn on the far side, and that's the work shed where Dawn has has a house on Walnut Street there.
That's the same woodshed is still there.
Yeah. Yeah, the woodshed is still there. That's today. That's the only building left. This one right here is the only building left. Other than the big house.
The only big time improvements was cement floor,
Yeah.
because when I got my car and went to allow work on it, it was still a dirt floor.
When we were kids, Butch helped our other brother there build soapbox derby and stuff in there.
Oh, that's right.
Every building had a good.
That was the car shop of us.
And the old chicken coops, our old chicken coops, I had about 50 chickens once and sold eggs, but Butch helped me fiberglass a boat in the old chicken houses. So we had multiple uses for it.
Eric,
Yeah.
on that thing, we weren't really sitting on a hay pile. I remember we used to put apple boxes on edge, and then we'd cover them over with the hay, and then we'd add like a maze going through. That's the hay we didn't quite get into the hay pile.
Hey, those days were good. Okay, this is the Luke's house across the street. It was built by Bud Jacobs in 1928. Earl Luke came to Kent to work at the chicken factory down here, and bought this house in 1935. Brooks target practiced it to the dump, like everybody else did with them. You could be standing out in the yard and hearing bullets going off. Really? Oh yeah, they're shooting rats.
So where the dump was, what's there now?
They filled it in. They covered all those old cars and some washing machines and just garbage. They just covered over. It was right at the end. The dump was right at the end of Maple Street.
Where the swim club is now.
Yeah. The swim club would be just right here because we're
So they just dumped in the gully in the top of the canyon?
Oh yeah.
It used to be bigger now.
Oh,
Okay.
Well, I'll tell you what happened is about when they got those places where you could drive down the valley and dump all your stuff. All the smoke used to, they burned and it stink like, you know, dump sticks. It used to float down there and so that the town could enjoy it. It's working ourselves. And in the summertime when it was hot, Libby's was working full time. When they were doing sauerkraut, they used to drip all the way up. Do you remember that too?
Oh, I can imagine.
But they dripped all the way up our hill going to the dump, and it stunk. And like he's not here tonight, but like David Ellis said, his little clip there, you only only had about 6 cars go by on a whole weekend. I go by his place, he's just right there, right with us there, and you know they're either going to the dump or the cemetery, and that's all there was. That's the only one thing that was past us.
Wow.
Okay, moving right along, this is Robbie Stone's grandfather
I
here,
love
his
that
house.
place.
This my Uncle Al built this in 1924. He married Irene in 1928, and he moved in then, and it pretty well all says it there. In 1939, the Nelsons moved down to the house you have there, Beaver Street. And then in the fall of we moved in there when I was about 6 months old in that house. And then about 4 years later, we moved back to 844 because my dad bought the place back from my Auntie Ellen. The house was sold to Fred and Mad Wilson then. And Cal, anybody know Cal Wilson? Cal Wilson was he was raised there, and then he built a house next to Tom's house here, there, that little one in there. And Cal Wilson lived. Tom's house is Hinkle there. He's living where we had our garden on that side. But this house. You want to catch the next one here? No, maybe you're better off with this. See the stonework there? That's those rocks were native rocks. Carla asked me, well, where'd they get the rocks? Butch, do you remember the pile down behind where my house is there? It had just a great big pile, that size rocks. And then when Todd and Don lifted the house, the old house here 10 years ago or so, we ended up with a pile of those kind of rocks out in front. Some guy would drove by and say, hey, what you do with your rocks? I said, you got them. And he hauled them off. But they had piles of those kind of rocks. I think that's probably why they had that, what I call that stone boat. That's probably what they were hauling those on.
Eric, do you recall when they put that addition on the right side of the house?
I don't know.
Rather modern.
I think Klein did, the one that built Tom's house, put that on there, because Klein lived there before.
Yeah, right.
Before, okay.
So
There's
after
people-
Madden.
Yeah. The fellows that live there today, the rock work was done, and the chimney was done by Mason the Mason. Mason the Mason lived pretty close to where Crest cuts off of Chicago Street. There's only the only houses are on the south side of Chicago Street 100 years ago, and all the land on the other side was still owned by Sanford. Sanford had 40 acres. Okay, and I have a level that's a handmade level that was made by is out of oak, and it's embedded. All the bubble work is embedded with some kind of cement that Mason did. It's fantastic. The fact that you can even do that. Anyhow, that rock work is 89 years old. You can go up and look at it today. This picture was taken this week. Okay.